The following content is for entertainment purposes only. All of the voices in this video and this disclaimer were generated using artificial intelligence and are not actual quotes of the persons depicted. This content is purely satirical and is in no way a political advertisement or contains any political bias. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Presidents Play Pokemon Crystal Randomizer Nuzlocke. I know normally whoever is playing is supposed to do the intro, but after that debate last week, I feel like I should do this to prevent even more harm to the American people. If you haven't watched episode 18 yet, there are spoilers ahead, so I'll give you 5 seconds to stop this video and go watch that episode before you proceed. Okay, great. Now that you're caught up, we can proceed. You can't pull a George and get mad at me for talking about previous events. And speaking of George, that's what we need to talk about. After his comments towards the end of episode 18, I had to sit down and spoke with him. He wanted everyone to know that he apologizes for his comments and he let the anger of letting Shendu faint get the best of him. Because of those comments, he has decided to take 1 episode off this series and give Joe some space. Personally, I think it was a smart idea, and I respect the fact he feels bad about his actions. With that out of the way, we can proceed to the rest of the episode. How are you fellows doing today?
I respect that decision as well, and I'll be man enough to forgive him. I can't deny what he said really got to me, though. I was crying in the broom closet with my good friends Captain Morgan and Johnny Walker until Kamala told me I had to fly to Atlanta for the debate. I'll never do another debate in that state again. I had to watch a replay of it, and I thought it was AI generated with how many pauses I took.
I'm not sure if you heard me as you ran out of the Oval Office last week, but I did give you the opportunity to postpone the debate. But I was wondering why you smelled like a brewery on that stage and needed help getting down that step to the moderators after it was over. I have to give you credit, though, to do as well as you did with the blood alcohol content, with what I assume was 5 times the legal limit, seeing you're 100 pounds soaking wet. You actually strung together 2 or 3 complete sentences. It was pretty impressive.
Oh shit, you really gave me that opportunity? I would have taken that in a heartbeat and just cried all night with my stuffed animals, Mr. Fluffers and Tippidus.
Tippidus. What kind of a name is that for a stuffed animal?
Tippidus Dick. Oh man, I got you, Obama. You see, America, I'm not some old man on the cusp of death. I can speak fluently, elegantly, and stun all over these hoes in my path. Ignore that debate performance because this is the real me and definitely not an AI-generated version of me.
Your Presidential Medal of Freedom is hereby revoked. I did that as a make-a-wish type gesture to your senile ass. You just played Angry Birds on my couch while I was doing work for 8 years.
Not sure you can call him senile after he just got you with a Tippidus Obama. You're just gonna have to hold the L with this one.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will just be quiet right now and not tell Joe about what my plan for this episode was. It was going to be a great surprise as well.
A surprise? For me? Oh boy, Obama, tell me. Is it an ice cream party? Did you get me an ice cream party to cheer me up? Please just tell me.
You know I was going to not tell you and call everything off after that joke, but I can't just deny those withered, decrepit eyes. Oh, all right, Joe, my surprise is that I planned for us today to have a make-up debate during the episode since last week's events prevented you from being your best. I even hired a moderator to do the debate for us, and Donald agreed to everything in advance.
I would have preferred the ice cream, but that's not a bad idea either. You mean I'm going to get the chance to show America that I'm not some old man that needs to be medicated to even have the appearance of a man on his deathbed? This is great. I'm going to run that election win back for sure.
Oh, that's sweet. Joe thinks he actually has a chance. But yes, Joe, given the circumstances, I've agreed for us to have a debate, and to ensure this channel doesn't get taken down over politics, we're going to make all the topics related to Pokemon. The only thing is, I didn't realize you had hired a moderator, Obama. I thought you were going to moderate the debate yourself. Who did you hire?
Well, keep in mind that you're broke from lawyer fees. I already spent my allowance from Michelle this month on Weiss Schwartz trading cards, and Jill hasn't let Biden touch money since my 2nd term. So we didn't exactly have the highest budget here. He's actually waiting outside right now. You can come on in.
The chair was so comfortable outside, I wish you didn't call me in right here. I haven't even had a chair since before I went to Mount Moon.
No, absolutely not. Obama, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Out of all the people in the world, this is who you choose. I take back my agreement to do this debate. This is not happening.
Oh, come on, Donald. It's your old buddy Tucker. We've had such good times together. Don't you remember all those times I propped you up on my show? And that time we walked through Mount Moon together. Those were the days, am I right?
Oh shit, it's the waiter from the boat. He finally brought my eggs here. I knew they were on their way. 1 second, Mr. Waiterman, I just need to catch this encounter.
Well, it's not much, but at the same time, it's something, and we need to restock the team a little after last week. Just catch this, and we can move on, Joe.
Somehow this is your fucking fault, Tucker. Joe hasn't made a single mistake during this entire run, and now he just let one of his encounters this episode faint. I bet he was just thinking about eggs and was rushing. Get the fuck out of here, Tucker.
Speaking of those eggs, I'll take them right now, please. You can put them right on top of those buttons. I don't know what they do anyway.
Joe, you dementia patient, I don't have any eggs. And before you say it, I'm not a waiter, or a janitor, or a cave dweller, and unfortunately not a junior Safari Zone ranger anymore. I'm a journalist who's trying to rebuild his shattered career on Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell it's called now. And today, I'm the moderator for your debate.
Yeah, this bozo's definitely not getting a tip. Barack, there seriously isn't anyone else who can moderate this debate.
So the other candidates that had any interest in doing this were Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Hillary Clinton, and Mike Pence. If you guys want me to call any of those three, and just let me know when I can.
Tucker. I know this isn't something you're used to hearing and haven't heard in a long time, but you got the job. Even a lapdog to Putin like you that kept us prisoners in Moscow is better than any of those three.
Thank you so much, Donald. I know you won't regret it. It's only right also because I was in episode 19 of your last series as well. Maybe we can make this a regular occurrence.
Wait, you were? Well, how about that? He's right. Guys, can you believe episode 19 was the final episode of Yellow? It's incredible to think today would have been the last day of this game in the last series, and now we're not even halfway done with Crystal.
I didn't even think we were going to make it to this episode, seeing how Bush was playing last week. It's a miracle we even made it out of the radio tower. But I've been itching to get this debate started. Take it away, Mr. Cave Dweller.
Joe, for the last time, I am not a cave dweller, and when this debate begins, I will mute your microphone if you even mention that again. But hello, everybody, and welcome to the redo of the first debate for the 2024 presidential election. I am your moderator, Tucker Carlson, and today, on YouTube, we will ask the questions that all of you undecided voters are anxious to hear. Without further ado, I will introduce our candidates for today. First off, he's the current and 46th President of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
I'm the man. I beat Orange Guy once and I'm going to do it again. Build back better, baby.
You built one hell of a nuclear bomb that you dropped on our economy, that's for sure.
Donald, please wait until I introduce you before you speak. Ahem, where was I? And introducing next, his challenger, the 45th and former President of the United States of America, Donald John Trump.
You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Make compatible great again. 4 more amazing years.
I'm sure this won't be an absolute shit show that gets us taken down from YouTube. Maybe episode 19 will actually be our last episode for Crystal 2 after this.
I ask the audience to please hold all of their comments until the end. Now, before we begin, I would like to tell the viewers and remind our candidates of the rules. Each candidate will be given an opportunity to answer each question on an alternating basis. The candidate who doesn't begin will get the final word on each subject matter. When it is not your turn, your microphone will be muted and nothing you say will be heard. President Biden won the coin toss I just did on my phone, and we'll get this started. Gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck today.
Wow, Joe rigged the coin toss as well? All right, I can see how this...
I'm glad to see the mute button is working as intended. Anyway, let us begin, and our first question goes to President Biden. The topic is, the Pokey economy. What the hell is that, Barack?
Do you want to get paid? Just read the damn script.
Yeah, I really need money. Anyway, getting back to the topic of the Pokey economy. Mr. President, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of Pokeballs that cost $1,000 then now costs more than $1,200, and typical potion prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
You have to take a look at what I was left when I became president. What Mr. Trump left me, we had an economy that was in free fall. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of healing items. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new full restores. We're going to make sure we cap prices so trainers don't have to carry 99 lemonades. And we're going to make that available to everybody, to all trainers. So we're working to bring down the prices at your local Pokemart. And that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. Former President Trump, your response.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our region. We had never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other regions were copying us. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that Pokey Russ mess. He created new competitive rules. That was a disaster for our region. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job. And inflation's killing our region. It is absolutely killing us.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world, he's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks it was great. He had the greatest economy in the world. He rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in Cantonian history, $2 trillion. He raised the deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who has lost more jobs than he had when he began.
In lieu of a response to his nonsense, I'd just like you all to see how he handles this puzzle. Pokey economy is going to slide downwards even more than he's going to slide around in this cave until the end of time.
Oh yeah? Watch this. 1 + 3 is 6, carry the 12, and then spin around, stop, pull the pie out of the oven, and bing, bang, boom, we're out of here.
Joe, you literally couldn't navigate the simple puzzle in Price's Gym. How the hell did you just navigate a puzzle that made kids quit the game in less than 60 seconds? Also, what was that math you just thought you did?
Elementary, my dear Obama. Now watch me catch this false god as our encounter in this cave. Wait, what the fuck? It fled? It can't do that. That's cheating. I get another encounter.
I actually don't know the rules on this off the top of my head. I'm going to say no, since it was technically the first Pokemon we ran into. We don't need a third of the nation of Ireland yelling at us like when we caught Battery in the Rocket hideout.
Obama makes a good point. You didn't do anything wrong, Joe, just some bad luck that time.
Excuse me. But I think we're all forgetting about the debate. Let's get back on track here. And the next question goes to you, former President Trump. The topic is Pokemon eggs. This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Plateau overturned Ditto v. Daycare Man. This morning, the Plateau ruled on yet another Pokemon egg case, temporarily allowing deletion of eggs to continue in Lavender Town despite their restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Ditto v. Daycare Man. As president, would you block the deletion of eggs?
If you look at this whole question that you're asking, a complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Ditto v. Daycare Man. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many steps and how many of this getting into other things. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a Pokemon when it's making sounds. It's about to hatch. 10 steps before it hatches, and even after it hatches, if you look at the former governor of Vermilion, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the Pokemon aside and we'll determine what we do with the Pokemon, meaning we'll release the Pokemon.
It's been a terrible thing what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Ditto when it was decided. Supported Ditto. And that's this idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. But here's the deal, there's a lot of young Pokemon who are being sent to daycare centers to produce eggs against their will as their trainer just wants perfect effort values. And they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross town lines.
So that means he can take the life of the Pokemon in the final 100 steps and even after birth, because some towns, Democrat-run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Vermilion put the Pokemon down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the Pokemon in the final cycle and unalive the Pokemon.
He's lying. That is simply not true. We are not for late cycle egg deletion, period, period, period. For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years. And it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Plateau. Takes credit for taking it away.
I can't put my finger on it, but this seems so close to the debate you guys had the first time, except you two can speak much more coherently and aren't changing the subject so much.
Yeah, it's definitely just you, Barack. I mean, these questions you're having me ask are in no way related to real-life topics, and not their exact answers with slight changes to accommodate a Pokemon video. But I will say the candidates have shown much more life than last Thursday, and this is definitely heating up.
Getting tired, Sleepy Joe? Maybe you want to call it quits and take your 4th nap of the day.
I took my 4th nap hours ago, bro. Next one today will be my 6th. But I'm just getting warmed up. You made a mistake giving me this second chance, and I'm going to prove to the viewers that I'm the right man to get this second term and not you.
Well, If that's the case, I say we jump right into our rapid fire segment. For this segment, the voters will get to see how the candidates answer donations. You will alternate going back to back with no rebuttals allowed. There were 8 donations in this past episode, so you will each get 4 of them. We'll lead off with you again, President Biden. The first donation came from Legendary Gamer, and he responded to the comment question by saying Joe would be brave, Barack would be hearty, Bush gets naughty, and Trump would be adamant. Also, Bush played poorly.
Thank you for this fine answer to the comment question and the donation as well. Legendary. People like you make this channel great. I agree that I would be brave, but Trump would be the naughty one seeing his recent court ruling.
Former President Trump, what do you have to say to MMA lover 150 who details the, and I quote, massive fucking coping from Bush? He goes on to praise Obama for turning his gameplay around without excuses, and Bush went the personal attack route. It was very pathetic overall.
I was incredibly appalled by George's behavior. Ever since we started hanging out, he had cemented himself as the wholesome one of the group. But the events of last week are something I thought George was never capable of. I am a firm believer in second chances, however. I believe his apology and willingness to distance himself this session prove his good intentions, and I believe he will only come back not just a better friend, but a better trainer as well. Thank you for the donation.
Next up, we have Ram 420M6. He said the reckless play was working until George lost Dragonite and Trump lost Hound Doom. For natures, he didn't just mention the nature, but also a reason why as well. But what do you have to say about Ram saying you were lonely since you don't have Dark Brandon and President Biden?
Wait, that's why Cerberus isn't in the party right now. Obama, you told me we deposited her to not feel like we had to level her up with the rest of the team. Thanks for your honesty, buddy. But Ram, I could never say I am lonely. I am surrounded by the best friends a man could ask for and an amazing community on YouTube. Dark Brandon might be recovering, but he will be back.
Stupid debate. Everyone look, it's compatible. Biden, we have to catch it. Wait, don't run away, you goddamn mummy. I take back everything I said, and we should get a second chance since the false god fled from the encounter earlier. Find another one? That is in order, Joseph.
Sorry I lied to you about Cerberus Joe. We were going to keep that one a secret since Donnie was just thrown into the episode without warning and emotions were already sky high. But Donald, I know it was compatible, but we made a decision as a group, and we must stick to it. I'm sorry, but we can't catch
Barack.
one.
Now I know you truly hated compatible. You unalived my pride and joy on purpose, and you're so against getting another one. I will remember this when I'm president again, mark my words. You're getting so thrown over the wall. In fact, I might even mix you in the cement that builds the wall.
Now, Donald, let's not say anything the voters might not approve of. It's your turn to answer the next donation as well. It came from Lazy Panda 6569, who said the most recent episode took a dark turn quick, and these issues need to be resolved immediately. What do you also think about the natures he gave to each of you?
Oh shit, we just got outrage? I know a certain Pokemon that could have been amazing on. But getting back to the topic at hand, this is one of the most base donations I've ever seen. You bet your ass I'm brave and can deal out the heavy hits. Biden is the poster child for not being bright. Obama is mild without the L and George. Despite his actions, is still the most neutral at the end of the day.
Oh, blow me, Trump. And he also called you slow, so that part is definitely based.
I ask again that the audience please holds all questions until the end of the debate. We're halfway through with this rapid fire round, and we're back to President Biden with another donation from Ram, this time via Ko-Fi. He's still trying to get his head straight after that crazy episode last week, but what do you say to him about concerns the team isn't leveled up highly enough?
That's a bunch of malarkey. Back in my day, you could go into the Elite Four with Pokemon 20 levels lower than the champion and still come out unscathed. The calls that our team is too underleveled are not only inaccurate, but hurtful to the members of this team. Mystery, Poliwrath, Arcanine, and Me Too are an unstoppable force, and they will never be defeated.
Sorry to interrupt again, but Joe, he does have a point. This next gym, we're going to be facing trainers with Pokemon in the mid-30s and a gym leader with 3 level 37s and a 40. We probably should have been battling all of these wild Pokemon in the cave for experience instead of running from them.
Mad cause bad, skill issue, get good, learn how to play the game, and you won't have any issues, Obama.
Not sure if Obama will be able to recover after that Gen Z toxic combo, but former President Trump, your next donation comes from, yeah, you're right, who understands why things got heated, but what do you think about his idea for Joe and Bush to handle their squabble and showdown? I have a username you can use if you need one.
Definitely going to pass on any username you have, Tucker, but my administration would fully support the system of showdown battles to handle all disputes. You name it, domestic disputes, gaming fights, everything you can think of will be handled by Showdown Battles. Thank you for the donation and great comments. As always, yeah, you're right.
Final donation for each of you. President Biden, you get to deal with Presidential Gaming Drive. He says that George is the newest fraud, and he better not get any of this British people money. Do you agree with his play being more disgraceful than game producer Six's love for Lilligan?
Before I answer that question, I'm just going to let you all know I plan to clear some inventory space and actually catch an encounter this episode. I'll do it on Route 45, and Donald, you can take the one in Blackthorn and the Dragon's Den. Now, I have to say this. We may disagree with game producer Six faded Pokemon against Wallace, but Lilligan is a goddess. Every American should be entitled to a thick dami mommy like Lilligan. We will always agree on that. But yeah, George ain't getting a cent from last episode. Don't worry about that. Thanks again, buddy.
And finally, former President Trump, you will get the pinned comment from last episode, which was also from Legendary Gamer. He thinks George should drop the W for an L in his name, hopes Dark Brandon comes back, and jokes aside, hopes Bush can rebound. What do you have to say to that?
Thank you again, Legendary, for the $20 in total this past episode. The return of Dark Brandon is something that members of both parties are in agreement on. We yearn for the return of Brandon, as he will make this team stronger than it already is. Bush will pull an Obama and turn his play around. You can mark my words on that one.
Gentlemen, and the two ladies watching this video, we will now move into our closing statements of this debate. Both candidates will get a final chance to address the public and attempt to convince them that they are the proper choice this November. Former President Trump, you have the floor.
My fellow Americans, I took 2 Pokemon League exams. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one. A real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions on type matchups. He couldn't do it. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood, wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 VGC championships at local card stores. Not even in the younger divisions, 2 regular championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart. And you have to be able to run back and forth to hatch eggs to get perfect effort values. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't go through 2 towns without taking a nap. He challenged me to a battle. He can't even take down 2 of my party members. I feel that I'm in as good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same.
You're going to see he's 6'5" and only 225 pounds or 235 pounds. Well, anyway, that's anyway. Just take a look at what he says he is and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a Pokemon battle with him. I told you before I'm happy to battle if you carry your own Switch. Think you can do it?
Let's not act like children.
You're a child.
And on that incredibly disappointing final segment, that brings us to the conclusion of this debate. I would like to thank both candidates for their time and the audience for actually sitting through this a second time. For everyone here, I'm Tucker Carlson. Have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you next week.
Wait, hold on, the episode isn't over yet, Tucker. We've still got this encounter to go. And when did you think you had the authority to end an episode in the first place? You're not a member of this team.
Give me a break, Obama. You saw the last episode. George is an absolute liability and needs to be replaced. Let's break down the facts. I'm a crowd favorite from Yellow, and we had perfect chemistry this episode. I say you make the decision to cut George and make old Tucker the 4th member of the team.
Sorry, Tucker, but that's going to be a hard pass. While I have to admit you handled your role as moderator very professionally and the debate went off without a hitch, we're not dropping George for you. We're not going to forget that you helped Putin trap us in Russia.
And you can't forget the name of the series as presidents play Pokemon Crystal, not cave dwellers play Pokemon Crystal. So you can't even be considered on those grounds.
For the last time, Joe, I am not a cave dweller. That was only a figment of your imagination in the simulation. I have not now, nor have I ever lived in a cave. I won't stand for this injustice any longer.
Tucker, if I give you the $5 I promised you for this episode, and tell you we might consider you to appear in future episodes, will you leave without us having to call Secret Service?
Future considerations? Oh, hell yeah. My negotiation skills are second to none. I'm going to take this $5 straight to Taco Bell now that I can finally afford one of their $5 boxes. See you later, guys.
So, is anyone going to tell him that box is like $7 now? Thanks again for that, Biden, for screwing up the best deal in fast food.
It's not my fault. Taco Bell is a Mexican food store, so they work off Mexico's finances. Go over there and complain to them yourself.
Joe, the headquarters for Taco Bell is in California. Just because it's Mexican-style food doesn't mean they're pulling the strings.
Yeah, sure, Barack. What are you going to tell me next? Italy doesn't control the prices of all pizza, and China doesn't control the prices for all Kung Pao chicken. April Fool's Day was 3 months ago, buddy. I'm not falling for it.
It's incredible how your mental aura continues to reach new lows every day, Biden. Now just do us a favor and catch this fucking ladybug so we can sign off for the day. I was distracted by Tucker originally, but this encounter has lasted over 3 minutes already. Speed it the hell up, man.
What more do you want me to do? It keeps using recover, and I just tried to catch it with an ultra ball while paralyzed. It's got to be the stars messing with my encounters right now. Did you know that Mercury's in lemonade and the moon is in microwave? Never before has someone been cursed by astrology this badly before.
Aren't you going to call him stupid or demented for that comment, Donald?
Did he say anything incorrect? It sounded exactly the same as the crazy people on Facebook who talk about the stars.
I'm sure we definitely didn't just offend any of our viewers. Nice job, guys. But Donald's right, Joe. I don't know if you need to channel that nonsense about the interior of a Pokeball again, because the Ultra Balls you just spent half of our bank account on aren't working, but please catch this before we hit the 30-minute mark of this video.
There it goes using recover again. What a bitch. We would never use that move, and especially not have it on arguably our best Pokemon in each of these last 2 runs. But truth be told, this bug might actually be useful for us. Not only must it have good defense, seeing it tanked a super effective drill peck from me too, but the acid armor belly drum recover combo could prove broken if we get a good move on it. I think about a switch in to a physical attacker, make it so it can't touch us, max out the attack, heal up and sweep. This might be our new secret weapon.
Hypothetically, yes, that strategy could prove absolutely broken on a good Pokemon. But Joe, you're forgetting that the mutant ladybug only has 390 base stats. Odds are both of its attacks are in the gutter, and it's slower than molasses. Now that same moveset on a Suicune, and you're in business.
Fair enough, but after doing my calculations, I've discovered the problem is that Mystery wasn't our active Pokemon when trying to get this captured. Now that it's in the yellow and paralyzed, this is a guaranteed catch when combined with Mystery. Just watch.
Why am I even surprised that logic worked? But with that finally out of the way, that is going to do it for this very eventful episode 19. Hopefully you enjoyed this debate more than the last one, and of course we wish all of you a very happy 4th of July. Make sure to message a British person like Presidential Gaming Drive and laugh at him because he's working today and his country blew a 13-0 colony lead. Don't be the idiot that blows your hand off with a firecracker today, and most importantly, have fun.
I named it Eternity, seeing how long it took to catch, and we'll check out its stats right now. But while we do that, let's take a moment to shout out our channel members. And if you want to join them, the link to our Ko-fi, where you can do it, is in the description of this video. Thank you to our newest member, Hector, with a $5 monthly pledge. And of course, thank you to our first and highest monthly pledging member, Bradley. We'll see you next week as Donald tries to earn our 8th badge.
Tries? Nah, fam, it's going to happen guaranteed. You act like a YouTuber ever fumbled the bag on the 8th gym of a Nuzlocke. Don't forget to join the Discord as we approach 700 members, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, how about we sing happy birthday to America since it's 4th of July? Happy birthday
Not
to
a
you.
fucking chance
Happy
we're going to
birthday to
sing.
you. Happy
Cut to
birthday,
black.
dear America.
Hey, wait a minute. Was there another debate I wasn't invited to? Why didn't anybody tell me? I have some great opinions on the
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, despite all odds, we have somehow made it to episode 20 of President's Play Pokemon Crystal Randomizer Nuzlocke. Your reward? Having your favorite Pokemon Master walk into Claire's gym and smack yet another Nepo baby gym leader around like it's nothing. We also have our boy George back after his self-imposed 1-episode suspension. How was the week off Bush?
It's good to be back, Donald. I also like how you hopped right into your first encounter this episode. It's such a happy-looking seal as well. Let's get this quick capture and then head into the gym.
So much for it being such a happy seal. Now it's floating around unconsciously in the waters of Blackthorn City. Nice start to the episode, Donald. I'm sure that's definitely not a sign of things to come today.
Oh, eat my ass, Biden. I used a not very effective attack from our physical attacker. If it couldn't live through that, then it's absolutely worthless and I want it nowhere near Donnie's destroyers. Now with that disappointment out of the way, I'm interested to see what type this gym ends up being. Hopefully something our team can smack around with ease.
I have to agree with Donald on this one, Joe. Not only would it have taken time to level up, but if it couldn't survive that attack, it would have been cooked in a minute. Just another example of the level scaling in this game making absolutely no sense. Why are the Pokemon in the waters of this town in the teens?
Did somebody say there were teens in the waters of this town? Guys, I think I've reached the summit of my Pokemon journey. You guys go on without me, and I'll be a lifeguard to all the teenagers of Blackthorn City. It's been real.
That is absolutely 100% not what I said, Joe. I swear if this activity continues, I'm going to call Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen? Who's that? Is he somebody those jerks in Congress want to put on the ticket instead of me? I bet he's just some goody two-shoes from Delaware. I hate that state. Literally nothing good has ever come from there.
I couldn't agree more with you, Joe. Maybe you are actually starting to get smarter. Those rumors of dementia have been greatly exaggerated.
Joe, are you seriously trying to tell me you of all people have no idea who Chris Hansen is? Think hard about it, man. Have you ever walked into a room and there was some guy waiting who asked you to take a seat?
Guy asking me to take a seat? Oh yeah, there was this one time where... Wait, oh no, guys, please, you can't call him, please, I'm begging you. I swear on Polyrath I'll be bitter, I promise.
Yeah, I figured that would jog your long-lost memory, Joe. But going back a few weeks ago, I'm really sorry about everything I said. I was having such a bad episode, and then when I lost Shendu, the filter that holds back all of my intrusive thoughts was just removed. I didn't mean what I said, and I know Dark Brandon will be back. I hope we can still be friends and you can forgive me.
I'm sorry too, buddy, because I said some really mean things as well. I don't think that you're a fraud, and I shouldn't have tried to force you to apologize. It's a tough time in all of our lives with debate prep and the stress of this run. You had some really difficult battles, and we're unlucky with everybody knowing an ice-type attack. We can absolutely move past this, and let's not even bring it up again.
I really do appreciate that, partner. Water under the bridge it is. Now, Donald, it looks like this is the Dark-type gym. Normally, it would be pretty imposing with the Pokemon we have to go up against, but Polyrath should be able to jump kick them into oblivion. As long as you play your cards right, we should be able to not only get out of here with no issues, but also collect some solid experience. We're going to need all we can get before we take on the Elite Four.
I'm praying every trainer just has a bunch of Tyrannitars so I can rack up that experience. But aside from experience, there is something I'm really worried about going forward. You see, we have 4 incredibly reliable team members, but it's kind of been that way for a while. Ever since we added Shendu, our encounters have been pretty underwhelming, whether it be because of level or the actual Pokemon. We're running out of time, and we need 2 more members to complement our current team.
I never even thought about that, but you're right. We got so many amazing encounters early on that we got spoiled and I guess assumed they would keep coming. In reality, those last 2 spots could be filled with legendaries, but my admitted misplays earlier have held us back from that. Not to mention we also lost our starter with what looked like was going to be a solid moveset as well. By my calculations, we should have 1 more encounter today, and I want to say 6 more before we reach the Indigo Plateau. We're going to need to hit on about 1/3 of our encounters, or we're going to have to fill in some spots with what we already have.
TLDR, give me the non-nerd version Obama. Explain it to me like I'm Joey.
Catch a good Pokemon in the Dragon's Den, then we only need to worry about catching 1 Pokemon in the next 2 episodes if nobody else faints.
Now then, was that so hard? You don't need to show your work like it's high school math class, but it's the Dragon's Den. Obviously, I'm going to catch something amazing in there. With a name like that, what do you think I'm going to catch? A baby Pokemon?
You've been foreshadowing an awful lot lately, so I'm not concerned about that comment in the slightest. But let's play devil's advocate and pretend we're going to have to pull out 2 party members to join the team. Who would you pick?
Taft would probably be the #1 draft pick, seeing we've seen how hard it can hit with its Ice Punch attack. Leads me to believe it has a really nice special, and who knows what other moves we would be able to get. For the second, I'm not so sure though. We've burnt up a lot of our quality reserves. Call us the Houston Astros because we have literally no farm system.
Could you have picked a franchise that isn't known for being a bunch of cheaters? Way to get some new allegations thrown on this run, Biden. Quick, throw out every garbage can in sight.
Hold on for a second there, Obama. The Houston Astros are a fine franchise. When they came to DC to celebrate their first championship, they were incredibly polite. I actually still exchange Christmas cards every year with Jose Altuve. I even got an email from the team saying how much they missed me last year when they came to visit the White House. I can't wait to see them again each of the next 4 years.
Well, of course, they liked you more. I didn't even want them to come over since they cheated against the Phillies. There's no way they could have beat them any other way. I had these dreams of meeting Bryce Harper, and those cheaters crushed them.
Sounds like a massive skill issue and overdosage of copium to me, Biden. Do me a favor, can you cry into this bottle so I can have your tears on the Oval Office desk during my second term? Talk about the trophy to end all trophies.
You want to make a bet, big boy? If you by some miracle actually beat me in this election, I'll give you your trophy. But if I win, you got to give me a trophy of your own. And I want your wig for all to see front and center on my desk. What do you say, Donnie?
It's not a wig, you blind bastard. This is my totally real and legitimate hair. Anyone who says otherwise just likes spreading fake news, and when I get elected, they're going straight over the Great Wall of Trump. Maybe I'll even do it with a catapult. I'll set up some bleachers, sell tickets to millionaire Republicans, and put it on pay-per-view as well. I'll have the national debt paid off in an afternoon.
Donald, we've all seen the videos of your wig blowing all over the place. You're our friend, and we don't care if you wear a wig. You don't have to lie about it.
Note to self, add Bush to the consideration list to be in the Catapult Show main event.
What did you just say?
What? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about the strategy for the gym battle with Claire. She is going to have the first level 40 Pokemon we've seen after all. Even these gym trainers are over-leveled compared to us, and we can't make any mistakes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said, but I think you'll be fine. My real worry would be if we ran into an electric-type gym leader. We really need to get a ground-type Pokemon at some point, seeing half our team could fall against an electric-type user. Do we even have any in reserve right now?
We do have that Fampy we hatched from an egg a long time ago. It evolves at level 25, so that might be our best option to go alongside Taft if we don't mind having a real power leveling montage.
That's definitely an idea to keep in our back pocket, Obama. Of course, we could get screwed with a few evolutions, but we could get something like a Steelix as well. I hope it doesn't come to that and we can just catch one instead of leveling up, but if there's ever a time to have a backup plan, it's now, and not if disaster strikes.
Speaking of not planning until the last minute, we are guilty of it, unfortunately. Remember how we were supposed to decide which of us would do the trainer gauntlet before Victory Road? Well, if I get this badge this episode with no casualties, the journey begins next week. I nominate myself, seeing I'm clearly the best trainer we've got here, and I'll get through it no problem with my talent and mental fortitude.
Let's play a quick game. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you tell me which thing is not like the other? Before I finish, just kidding, it's me, because I'm the only trainer who hasn't let a team member faint at this point. I've displayed world-class form since we left New Barktown, and I think it should be me.
You might not like what I'm about to say, George, but with all the trainers there are, it might amount to being multiple episodes in the series. As much as I want to be the one who carries the team through the Kanto Welcome Committee, they've let a total of one Pokemon faint the entire series, and we've each had single episodes of letting more than that fall alone. I think they should each take one of the next 2 episodes, and then we'll split up the Elite Four by trainer, like we did last time.
I'd be lying if I said your logic was wrong right there. And it would give them the episode that they missed while they were recovering as well. All right, men, what do you think? We'll let Trump lead off the gauntlet next week, and Biden can take us straight to the door of the Elite Four. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a plan to me. Donald can have a double-header episode next week, and I can face the toughest trainers we've seen yet. I appreciate you guys being so cool about this. What do you think, Trump?
I can't argue with that logic either. Obama's right about it probably being enough trainers to last 2 episodes, so we should go with the top 2 trainers being us. That also negates any argument we might have as well. I'm glad that we came to a decision so quickly, because I randomly just got this splitting headache.
Need me to get you some aspirin, Donald? I can run over to Joe's medicine chest real quick and be back in about a half hour after I go through the 1,000,000 bottles of mislabeled medication he has in there.
I only mix up the pills because I don't think I need the 69 dosages they say I need to take throughout the day. I've searched my conditions on Google before, so I'm pretty much an expert on medicine.
Oh, Barack, you're such a caring friend. But don't worry, Donald doesn't have a headache. He just has a better half he hasn't let out to play in far too long.
Dark Maga, what are you doing here? I thought we already told you that we won't stand for an entity of pure evil taking over our friend anymore.
I always knew listening wasn't your strong suit, but rest assured, little cowpoke, I'm not here to bring the end of humanity today. I'm only here to have some fun and kick the shit out of this pathetic gym leader. Since he hasn't let me out in so long, I think taking the 8th gym from him is a fair compromise, don't you think?
I have 2 conditions for you, Dark Maga. If you can accept them, we won't protest you being here right now. If you don't accept them, we'll have Obama go Ultra Instinct and knock your form out.
That's so adorable that you think a mere mortal could defeat me. but I really don't feel like having to listen to Donald yell at me again when I'm trying to sleep about my behavior, so I'll humor this bullshit. What are your conditions, Sleepy Joe?
First off, and most importantly, there will be absolutely no Dark Brandon slander this time. You understand me?
Oh no, I might wet my pants, I'm so scared of you, Joe Biden. But sure, no need to make you go running to Jill about it. What's your second condition?
My second condition is, if you're truly so great, I assume you come with a banger theme song like the rest of us. Play it now or step aside and let a real trainer take over.
I'm not sure what you consider a banger, Joseph, but let me show you what a #1 hit truly sounds like.
Guess who's back? Back again, making things great again. Ready for a brawl? Dark Maga does no wrong. Yeah. Unstoppable force, they can't ignore. We're gonna make Kanto soar. Dark Maga's reign, we're winning the game. No one can stop this red wave, MAGA. By my side, avenging what's right, it's a compatible ride. Avenge, taking names, breaking chains, no one can hide. Conquering all from the ground to Yodo's starless skies. My resolve will never die, standing firm against the night. With this team we rise and fight. Triumphs, I forge ahead. I scale the indigo plateau, no regret. No rival can beat me, my spirit's blaze. From Johto's peaks to Kanto's shore. And laughter, error, defeated, now reborn, rising through the storm. How we're surging, feel the might. Dark Maga's here, your guiding light. Unstoppable force, they can't ignore. We're gonna make Kanto soar. Dark Maga's reign, we're winning the game. No one can stop this red wave, MAGA. Winning again, winning can Kanto soar. No one can stop. MAGA, make Kanto soar.
Was that enough of a banger for you, Joey?
All right, I gotta admit that was pretty fucking good. And your battle was managed with incredible ease as well. I'm not sure about you not teaching Sword's dance to Polyrath, but overall this was a battle we were worrying about, and you made her look like a junior trainer.
All 3 of those moves were just too valuable for type coverage. And just like a junior trainer, she's being a sore loser and refusing to give me my prize. I should have swung her around by that cape and seismic tossed her into the lava surrounding her platform.
All right, Dark Maga, control your bloodlust and just go into the dragon's den so we can get the badge. Also, how long do you plan on staying around for?
I'm going to get the encounter in there and then I'll throw it back. You're going to need my skill to catch it. Also, I'll show you what you could have had if I played this entire episode. Behold.
There was a Raikou in these waters. Are you kidding me? All Donald found was a fucking seal. That could have been our 5th member right there.
You're more than welcome to tell my worse half that I should be the one who plays next episode instead of him. Your team could have been completed this episode. Now, don't fret. I don't sense any legendaries in the den, but I do think you're going to like what I find. Consider it a granted wish, if you will.
Is it going to be a Starmie? I always wanted one to complement our Mewtwo.
Words cannot comprehend how time has eroded the walnut of a brain you once had into the empty space that occupies your skull now. You already have a Starmie on this team, you fool. I'm going to catch a Pokemon you actually need. Just shut up for a moment and watch.
Talk is cheap, Dark Maga. I bet you used up all your luck on that Raikou we couldn't even catch. Watch this be something completely pathetic like a Huthu.
I should take away this gift for that comment. But you know what? Seeing the look on your face when I back up my power will be even more rewarding. Darkness, I call upon you to bring forth what this team needs most. Darkness, put down the fucking coffee and give me this encounter already.
Here come the excuses before we even see what Pokemon it is. Just admit you're a fraud and give...
Arnold, it's Arnold. Our yellow day 1 and the ground type we said we needed. All hail Dark Maga. The darkness has provided us a gift for the ages. I will close my eyes now and embrace the darkness.
Joe, you're just using that as a way to take a nap. You can't fool us. But holy shit, Dark Maga isn't just all talk. In terms of ground types, Arnold ranks 3rd in base stats, but is number 1 in our heart after Pokemon Yellow. Maybe this guy isn't so bad after all.
Don't mistake my flexing for kindness day 254. If I wanted to, I really could have manifested the Huthoot that Obama said I would get. Consider this an apology for making Joseph cry, and this will also get me some brownie points with Donald so he will leave me alone. If you're also wondering why we have 2 Pokemon under level 10 on the party right now, I had to bring somebody on who knew Whirlpool, and then I took another one of the expendable members of this team to fight my glorious encounter. One of them will probably faint in this battle, seeing the catch rate isn't great, but I don't think anybody cares if I lose Shrooms or Ozzy.
I don't even remember what you said anymore. Just catch it, please, Dark Maga. I need some Arnold in my life right now.
Get one of your staffers to find your Ritalin and stop tugging on my suit, you decrepit weakling. I'll catch it, don't you worry, but give me some goddamn space. I was hoping I could get lucky with a quick catch, but it doesn't look like the game has that in its plans. I'll try to do some chip damage before catching it again.
This might take a few minutes, so I think it's the perfect time to read off donations from last episode.
Being nice and wholesome to people? Nah, I don't fuck around in the shadowy place. You can have Captain Big Mac back, I'm out of here.
That is so strange. Out of nowhere, my headache just cleared. Oh my God, it's Arnold, and I hear wild Pokemon music. Ultra Ball, go.
Welcome back, Donnie. And yes, you are right, this is our encounter in the Dragon's Den. Dark Maga took over and kicked Claire to the curb. He also blessed us with this encounter, so while I know you're just getting your bearings, please don't fuck this up.
He took the Claire battle? That piece of shit, I'm going to lecture the hell out of him later. I was looking forward to that. But I guess he did lead us to our new 5th team member, so maybe I'll give him a pass. It's just going to be tough catching this since it's such a low level and anything could one-tap it.
You're just thinking about it too much right now, Donald. Just calm down and catch the dang thing. Dark Maga left you with 2 lower level Pokemon to hit it, as you can see, and he also paralyzed it as well. You'll be fine. Let's try doing donations again to take our mind off things. Our first one came from Legendary Gamer. He throws us 7 Canadian people money, and thank you for the banger after banger comment. We hope you've enjoyed George being back, and I'm sorry, but we aren't catching that Vaporeon in the ice path. Thank you again for the donation, though.
Awesome to know I have fans out there like you, Legendary. I missed being here last week, but it was a necessary absence. We've got Omega Specs next, and he throws us $10. I wish I could have seen it in person, but yeah, that debate was awesome. Thank you so much for the donation and the kind words.
Another debate I kicked Sleepy Joe's ass in, if I may add. And speaking of Biden losing, we head over to Ko-fi for our next donation from Ram420M. Thank you again for donating through there so we don't get hit with the fees. He acknowledges your solid gameplay last week, but calls you out for your comment about beating Pokemon 20 levels lower than your own in the Elite Four. Care to respond, Joe?
Speaking of me losing, you literally said that as you let Shrooms faint. Pot calling the kettle black, am I right? But Ram, you aren't the first person that has brought this up. To everyone that mentioned it, did you not watch us playing Pokemon Yellow? We smacked around Putin's Pokemon in the 60s with ours in the 40s. That's what I was referencing. But shifting back to donations, we go back to our highest donation from the last episode, and it was Legendary Gamer with his second one of the week. He really wanted to get that pin back, and he did just that with his 14 Canadian people money donation, and he wants us to name a Pokemon Bidoof. Tell you what, buddy, we'll definitely do that for you. Thank you again for all the Canadian people money today.
And thank you, Pokemon Master Donald, for bringing back our unstoppable, unaliving machine from Yellow. Oh, I don't know what feels better, being able to throw all the exclamation points on or knowing that Joe can't say he caught Arnold this time. It was all me motherfuckers.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Donald. You caught Arnold, and he's going to be on the team for sure. But that reminds me, you're playing next episode, and I would think he's going to have to be in the mid-30s by next week. Now, I normally know you hate power leveling with a passion, but I hope you have fun doing it so you can use him next episode.
God damn it, Dark Maga, you fucking asshole. You knew this was going to happen. I should have seen it coming a mile away. That's it, everyone. Eternity and Taft are full-time team members at their current levels. It was nice seeing Arnold, but you know he shouldn't be a star in both series, right?
And that's how you know Dark Maga is pure evil. This is the man who said he would never waste his time power leveling, and he's too good for it. Maybe he's not such a bad guy after all for giving us this satisfaction.
We all know that's absolutely not happening, Donald, so get yourself some McDonald's and enjoy grinding levels in the ice path. It's something we've all had to do at some point, and we can keep you company if you prefer.
You know what? It's fine. No big deal. I'll just hand the Game Boy over to Eric for a few hours, and I'm sure he'll take care of it for me. He always begs me to play this game with him, and now I have an excuse to do so.
If you even think of taking this joy away from me, I'll throw a 0 onto the end of your conviction total.
You little bitch, you wouldn't dare.
Hey, Kamala, can you get Alvin Bragg on the phone? I need to ask him for a favor. Also, since I'm immune as president, can you get SEAL Team 6 on the other line? I have 6 specific targets for them in a, let's say, Supreme Court room.
Okay, fine, Joe, you made your point. I'll do the damn power leveling myself. Now, don't lay a finger on Clarence Thomas's beautiful soul and let me answer these stupid questions so Gen 2 version of Kate, wearing bitch, gives me the badge finally. Yes, Pokemon are my friends. I'm not Sleepy Joe, so I don't rely on cheating. Personally, I'll crush anyone in my path, but I bet he wants me to say this before saying, oh, I understand. I think this one is the final question. Let me just say what he wants to hear one more time and we're done with this. You happy, old man? You get what you want. Now give me what I want and hand over that fucking badge.
Oh, I understand.
Don't you fucking start with that now, George. I've had a long goddamn day. First I got possessed. Then I got threatened by the most inept president in the history of this country, and I don't need this nonsense.
Oh, I understand.
Barack, I swear on all that's holy.
Oh, I understand.
Fuck this, I'm out of here. Do the fucking outro without me. I did everything that needs to be done, so let me drown in some McDonald's Sprite, and I'll see you jerks next week.
It truly never gets old pushing Donnie's buttons. But he is right, everybody. That wraps up everything we had to get done today. I'll just grab the Dragon Fang before signing off. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by, and you better not miss next week as we begin the Gauntlet to the Indigo Plateau. We'll see you same time, same place.
Huge shout out to our channel members Bradley and Hector over on Ko-fi. If you would like to be featured at the end of every episode while also supporting the channel, you can do so via the link in the description of this video. The real test starts next week, and we'll need all of you here again to support us. We'll see you then.
As always, don't forget to join the Discord, and oh shit, we forgot to ask a comment question this week. How about you all tell us who you hope our 6th team member would be for the Elite Four? You can say someone we already have or someone you hope we catch. 8 badges down. 8 badges to go. We'll see you next week.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of President's Play Pokemon Crystal. This season on the channel we're doing a randomized Nuzlocke so all of the Pokemon we encounter can be different than they normally are. It's a whole new world
Joe,
we
what
live
the
in.
fuck are you talking about? This isn't episode 1. This is episode 21. I'm telling you to fire that damn yes man you have as a White House doctor because your dementia finds a brand new evolution every episode.
Donald, what are you talking about? How could it be episode 21 if we're in New Bark Town? I'm starting to think you're the one with memory decline. If we were as far along as you said we would be in Blackthorn City by now. But holy shit, forget that. Can you believe how great this randomizer is? Instead of a Pokédex, we got a Master Ball. I can't wait to see what the starters are.
I really hate Take Your Kid to Work Day. Obama put a leash on him or some duct tape over his mouth. If I have to go through these trainers while listening to his nonsense, I'm going to blow a fucking gasket.
If anybody's going to talk about Bring Your Child to Work Day, you're the last person who should be doing that. But Joe, if you don't get your head on straight this instant, I'm putting the lot back on the freezer until next week's episode.
Please, Dad, don't take my ice cream away from me. I wish I went to work with Mom today instead. She's so much nicer than you.
Take Your Child to Work Day was in fucking April. It's been hotter than the surface of the sun over the past month, so you can't even pretend it's been that time of the year. Also, for the last time, I am not your father, Joseph. You were my vice president, and now you are my friend. Nothing more.
Barack is the father of the year over here. I can't believe he just disowned his son in front of 15 people on YouTube. I'm so sorry, Joe, but I guess you have to go to the orphanage for all 1,000-year-old zombies now. It was nice having you around for the time that we did.
I swear on all that's holy, I'll finish the job, and I won't miss like that stupid kid.
And that seems like the perfect time to jump in and do an actual intro for this episode. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 21 of President's Play Pokemon Crystal Randomizer Nuzlocke. Today we have Donald taking on the first half of the Trainer Gauntlet on the way to Victory Road. He'll also be getting 3 encounters, so some big chances to fill the vacancy of our 6th party member. However, today we already have our 6th party member being my amazing Egg Hatch from way back in Ekrutake City. Of course, we all knew that it would end up being the perfect hidden machine slave, being able to learn Cut, Waterfall, Whirlpool, and Fly.
Oh yeah, you had so much faith in Phanpy back then. In fact, I remember you naming it Why No Legend, which translates to Savior of the franchise and my favorite Pokemon. Totally not, goddammit. Why didn't I get a team member that I actually wanted, right, George?
That was just a test for you. I knew exactly what its true potential was. And seeing it took until episode 21 to use it, you failed, unfortunately. Such a shame. But I'll tell you what, I'll let you off the hook if you catch this golem. It's not the greatest, but a final evolution with 485 base stats isn't the worst party member if we don't get anything else. Does anyone have a name idea for it when we catch it?
Balls, 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 balls.
Oh my God, is this finally the end for Joe? I think he's having a stroke. Oh well, you had a good run, Joe. We'll all miss you. Anyway, in more important news, I should have this thing caught any second now, so hopefully it has good stats.
I wasn't having a stroke, fat ass, and to be honest, I'm not sure what possessed me there, but I just felt a mighty need to repeat balls on repeat. Can you please name it that, Donald?
At the risk of that possession growing, if I don't name it balls, I'll do that, but not for any other reason. I really hope my next encounter is something better so we seriously don't have balls on the Hall of Fame team. For anybody who wants an autograph, I will be signing them outside the Oval Office after the filming of this episode. Prices start at $100 per signing, and you can only have something autographed that you purchase separately from my personal store. Good thing I just happened to bring my trailer today that has all my merchandise in there.
That's what you're keeping in that trailer? No wonder nobody has been anywhere near it all day. But all things considered, that's an awesome encounter, Donald, and if it has anything close to decent stats and moves, you just know, this is going to be a crowd favorite. Hell of a job, man, just catch it now.
I even have Rudy Giuliani working there for some extra cash since he just got disbarred in New York. Oh shit, I just remembered I forgot to leave a window down for him in there. His hair dye is going to melt all over my priceless merchandise. Fuck!
Don't worry about it, Donald. I'm sure the people will survive without your $60 Bibles and gaudy-ass gold shoes. In fact, those shoes might look better in black anyway.
Quiet. I need silence for this capture.
Oh sweet, we caught the shiny Pikachu. Can we name it Balls as well?
Since Shendu didn't work, I'm going to try Shenron this time. Editor, can you please insert a jump here so we can skip to the Pokemon Center where we can check their stats. Also, everyone I know why Biden is saying these stupid-ass things. He told me last night he was falling asleep to GP6's Sapphire movie, so he's subconsciously repeating lines from that. For the last time, Joe, stop falling asleep to President's videos. The last thing we need is you constantly quoting that content. You need to be a true man of culture and fall asleep to the Hell's Kitchen channel on Samsung TV.
Is there ever a time you don't think about food? Of course you would fall asleep to the Hell's Kitchen channel. But unfortunately, it looks like the randomizer didn't optimize these guys. Their speed stats are both pretty low despite the pretty decent balance everywhere else. Not what I was hoping for, but not the worst as well. We did need some decent reserves, so at least we can say we don't need that anymore. You got one more encounter this episode, Donald, so hopefully you saved the best for last.
You know I have Barack. And as this portly man says, that's one small step for Biden and one giant leap for Trump kind. It took 21 episodes, but we... Wait a second, did we ever even get the map app for our Pokey gear? I can't even see that we're in Kanto. God damn it, how is that even possible?
While that is indeed as disappointing as you butchering Neil Armstrong's quote, I do have to say the waterfall animation in this game is just awesome. I'm not sure why we needed to go full Tony Hawk mode and do an 1800 on our way up the waterfall, but it's still so cool.
Couldn't have given the credit to a professional surfer since we're in the water there, George?
In all honesty, I couldn't name a professional surfer if my life was on the line, so no disrespect intended. I'll instead throw my disrespect onto Donald for getting a Pokemon as wide as him instead of something useful for his third encounter. When are you going to encounter a legend like I did Donald?
1 weakness and 450 base stats is far from a bad encounter, George. This might end up being pretty damn good for us. But can one of you catch it for me? I just got the notification that my DoorDash order is here, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got you. I don't even think I need to land another hit on it and can just chuck Ultra Balls at it. Did you get anything for us?
He's gone already, so he can't hear you. Only time he moves quickly is when he's on his way to food. But can you think of any time he ever ordered us any food? Every time we ask, it's always buying extra in this economy this, or I'm up to my ass in debt. Because lawyer fees that. He'll never even get us fries to split.
I never thought about it, but you're absolutely right. He's going to walk back in here with a family-sized meal, and we're going to look like John Goodman's family in that Family Guy scene. That's it. I'm getting revenge on him for this. If he ever wants to use this Chansey that he thinks will be useful, it will come at a price. I got the perfect nickname for this thing. All right, boys, watch this.
Oh my God, that's absolutely perfect, George. Hang it in every museum around the world. If there was a comment question for our favorite nicknames so far in this series, I'm sure this would be at the top for sure.
While I'm sure 99% of the answers will be compatible, let's make that the comment question this week, and hopefully I'll be proven wrong. Everybody let us know in the comments below what your favorite nickname from this series has been. Personally, for me, it's got to be this.
I appreciate the kind words, gentlemen. It was a nickname that could only be founded through pure disappointment over the homies not getting you a snack. But it looks like Donald isn't back yet, so I guess I can start this battle for him as well.
The fuck you're going to take Arnold's first controller. Now, you liability-looking yeehaw ass. One fucking matchup and you prove you've learned nothing from your last episode. I swear I'll get Joe enough ice cream and Obama enough drones to convince them to ban you from playing with us. I thought Arnold was gone for sure.
Heart attack avoided, but don't worry, George, no amount of drones would be able to make me vote to ban you. Not only do I have enough stockpile for the next 50 lifetimes, but your friend and friends come first.
How much ice cream are we talking, Donald? I mean, of course, I would never hypothetically agree to this, but I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't at least entertain this offer of yours. Art of the deal, am I right?
I can see you're learning, Joe. Did you have one of your staffers read you my book as a bedtime story? Regardless, here's my offer to you. Not only will I buy you your own personal ice cream truck, but I'll transfer Rudy from my memorabilia trailer to be a full-time employee at the truck. Since it's cold in there, his hair dye will never run and get in the ice cream, so there's no worry about that.
We're on the 5-yard line right now, Donald, but I have a sinking suspicion that Rudy might poison my ice cream, so I would need a different full-time employee. Tell you what, if you can get that cashier from Wawa to work full-time at the ice cream truck, I think we can make a deal.
Yeah, I'm going to stop this conversation right fucking now. Joe, you aren't taking this deal and George isn't going anywhere. I'm ashamed at you for falling for one of Donald's ploys. But speaking of Wawa, the donations are how we eat there, so let's get into the donations from last week. Our first one came from our boy Legendary Gamer. He throws us 7 more Canadian people money, and he answered our comment question by hoping Squirtle would be our 6th member. There is a chance, of course, we find one and it would evolve pretty quickly. Thanks again for another donation, buddy.
Despite this incredible slander and knowledge that a cold treat means more to Biden than my play, I'll somehow muster the strength to do this next donation. Because despite all my rage, I'm just trapped in this cage. Our next donation came from, yeah, you're right, and he sends us $10 through Ko-Fi. Thank you again for donating that way so YouTube doesn't take any fees on your donation and we get the whole thing. He wonders why you turned down Donald's challenge to Golf Joe. You upset his mom by doing this, and she's not even a Trump supporter.
When you've got this level of drip and you pull as many shotties as Joey B got, sometimes you're going to leave one of the ladies disappointed. But I didn't turn down his challenge. I got my handicap down to a 6 when I was vice president. Donald just never agreed to walk the course because he needs a cart. I mean, who else would want to golf against somebody who has their handicap down to an 8?
Did he get something else from the Crazy Cap store? Because if Drip Biden is back and Joe is talking like that, we need to get rid of that clothing immediately. Hurry before he calls himself the Rizzler again.
Only Joe could go from talking like some Gen Alpha ho to his dementia-riddled silent generation ass in a single statement. Is your handicap a 6 or an 8, Joe? That's a rhetorical question, by the way, because I know I said you can't hit the ball 50 yards, but I would actually be surprised if you can even lift a sand wedge.
My handicap is the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from Crazy Cap on him. I think he just had another one of his episodes, and that assortment of words somehow escaped his pudding substitute of a brain. How about you just read the next donation, Joe? Think you're up to it.
Of course, I'm up to it. I'm the youngest and most energetic person in this room, George. Geez, these geezers just can't keep up with my energy, I tell you. Anyway, our next donation comes from Memel over 150. He donates us $2 and asks why we're playing Ruby in Season 3 instead of Emerald after we played the first 2 remake games already. I'm glad somebody asked this as a donation because it's a question we've been getting a lot, and it's something we want to answer very clearly. You see, if we had to pick our favorite out of the 3, it's Emerald without a doubt. But the President's community isn't a toxic or backstabbing community. We all respect each other and want to see each other grow. Our basketball spinning showdown battling friend already made an amazing Emerald series that is about to come to an end, and gay producer Dick's already made an equally great Sapphire series. We would never step on either of their toes and make a playthrough for a game they already made. Instead, we're not only going to complete the trilogy of Generation 3 games, but we're also going to complete the trilogy of playthroughs as well. We're going to do a vanilla Nuzlocke of Ruby so that you have our playthrough, the vanilla version, and the randomized Nuzlocke version. 3 games, 3 styles, and of course 2 creators and an Irish furry.
I would love to talk shit about your energy, but I have to give you credit for almost speaking 1,400 characters without skipping a beat, Joe. But yeah, we know a lot of people have been asking, and we just want to put that conversation and those rumors to bed once and for all. Anyway, moving on to our final donation, it was an absolute whale of a donation as it ties the all-time channel record being for $100. And again, thank you so much for doing this through Ko-fi so YouTube didn't take almost half of it. Can you believe those jackasses take almost half your donation if you donate through this platform? That's why we don't have our memberships on here, because it's stupid to see half your money going to them. But again, shout out to AC Gonzalez for his incredibly generous $100 donation and for saying this is the best series on YouTube. We here also look forward to the return of Dark Brandon and Clinton as well. Maybe they can even show up and play for Bush next time he's up. Who knows? Thank you again, man.
Is this slander going to stop anytime soon? You know what, maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Instead of getting angry with you guys, I'll try being nice instead. You know what they say down in Texas, you catch more honeys with steak than vegetables. Donald, we haven't really mentioned it yet, other than when you ticked off Barack earlier, but I just wanted to take a minute to say we're so glad you're here with us today. We couldn't be happier that piece of shit missed his shot, and that you escaped with only the small damage to your ear that he did.
I doubt I've spent a week of my life in that state, but I'm pretty sure that nobody says that saying there or anywhere on this planet Earth, but I do have to agree with him, Donald. If anything, that's a sick new ear piercing you got. Have you picked which rock you're going to put in there?
I appreciate the kind words, gentlemen. And Obama, do you think it would be too over the top to put an 8-carat diamond in there, or would I become that guy? The last thing I want is to become a person who has constant drama and controversy surrounding me.
Oh, Donald, no, you would never be thought of as a controversial figure. Everybody only has the purest of thoughts about your character. But if you ask me, you gotta go big when it comes to a right ear piercing. Show everyone out there that you're happy with who you are.
Why are you putting emphasis on the piercing being on my right ear? Oh wait, never mind, I remember the meaning of that. Never mind, piercing plans have been canceled.
Thanks a lot, Obama. Bro was literally about to come out of the closet in front of the entire RNC, and you just had to remind him what that meant. But to be honest, Donald, we are all very happy that the kid who looked like GP 6'5" years ago is a worse shot than Hank Hill. I actually needed sports to realize this happened. The second I saw Nick Castellanos hit a home run, I went searching the internet for a tragedy, and what do you know, I see what happened at your rally. I swear that man is a witch who needs to be burned at the stake. How does he hit a home run every time a really bad event happens?
And to think nobody would have realized that fact if it wasn't for that Reds announcer being a homophobic jerk-off, as there's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that will make it a 4-0 ball game.
Legendary copy pasta right there, but Donald, are you sure about the switch to Starmie right here? Don't you remember the last time we faced one of these? It knows growth, which is a pure counter to drill peck. If it knows any other moves, we could be in not only massive trouble for this matchup, but if that legendary powers up too much, it could mean the end of the run.
Would you prefer I bring in Arnold, Mystery, or Arcanine, who are all weak to Bubble Beam? We have to act off the known and not the unknown. Also, if it knows a stab psychic move, then we resist that as well. I'm putting all our eggs in the Me Too basket, and this probably isn't the last time one of these situations are going to arise. With the levels as high as they are, any matchup could be our last, and we have to battle with knowledge and passion. Never fear.
And you nailed that decision right there, Donald. With the speed edge now, we'll be able to knock out before that bird's next attack. Hell of a job, man. Keep that fire burning.
That's just what being a trustworthy trainer is all about, my man. Sometimes you just gotta trust your instincts, but you always have to stick by your decision no matter what it is. But never mind on keeping that fire burning, because now we need to extinguish our second legendary bird in this trainer battle. I'll switch to Arcanine and throw non-rock type attack rocks at it until it falls right out of the sky.
I think you should have left Starmie in right there, Donald. It doesn't have a great physical defensive stat if I remember. As I was saying, switching out of Starmie was absolutely the best decision you could have made right there, and well done on making the exact same read I made there, Trump. Anybody with half a brain would have known Fire Chicken was going to use Thunder.
Were you two in another drone strike at the same time that we were? But instead of being knocked unconscious, it took away your future sight abilities? Maybe Donald and I should just split the Elite Four and lance ourselves, because holy shit, that would have been the end of our Mewtwo right there if you were playing.
You know, when Dementia Joe is able to call out your bullshit you turn, that you really messed up. I was only half joking earlier when I made that suggestion about Bush, but guys, holy fuck. I don't know if you need to have theme songs playing at all times, or you need to be playing in alternate forms at all times. I'm begging you, Barack, please use Ultra Instinct when we get to the Elite Four and George learn how to use Nen or something.
Me able to use Nen? Yeah, Donald, you called it. I'm definitely able to channel powers from the Hunter x Hunter universe. Don't be ridiculous. While I'm jealous you all can call on alternate forms, I am definitely just a regular Texan with no other powers.
George, you just did the same eye twitch you do when you're bluffing in poker. You don't actually have Nen abilities, do you?
God fucking damn you guys. You just had to directly ask that question, didn't you, Obama?
What the fuck, George? You had a hidden ability this entire time and you didn't tell us. What the hell's the matter with you, man? Why have you been holding back?
What the others didn't know is that George wasn't hiding his power for selfish reasons. He instead was doing it for the good of the team.
Show yourself.
It's
After
the
being
narrator
challenged
that
by
comes with
his
the Nen
vice
ability, just
president
let him
Dick
do his
Cheney
thing.
for the Oval Office
He
in a
also has an
Pokemon
8-bit
battle,
remix
George
of the song
underwent
from
deep
the
training.
show, so we don't get hit with
Further
copyright.
training of this ability turned George into the greatest Pokemon battler that Washington had ever seen. The name of the ability would go on to be named Deadeye, and George could see the next 10 moves of the match without
battling the
fail.
ghost of Shendu if anybody
However,
cares.
that power would be deemed rather useless in Generation 4 as the rise of stall tactics took center stage. In search of the ability to be able to see 50 turns in advance, Bush signed a Nen contract that restricted usage of Deadeye to once every 3 months, and if anybody asked him point blank if he had Nen abilities, he would have to confess, or the blade in his heart would end his life.
I fell asleep like halfway through that novel. Can someone give me the too long didn't read version?
George could sweep your ass so fast your head would spin if he really wanted to.
I swear, men, I was going to reveal this during my Elite Four battle so that I could tell you the limitations and strength of my ability. If I use it during the Elite Four and during our battle with Red, that should be able to space it out enough and guarantee us victory.
That has to be the most busted ability I've ever heard of. And since you're using Nen, nobody who can't use it themselves like any of us would even know. George, I don't know what to say except I'm sorry. With you on our team, this run is guaranteed completed.
Hold on for a second, Donald. Wouldn't that make things too easy? How about this? We let George use his ability only when it's his turn against his Elite Four member and his certain Pokemon against Lance and Red. He can't use it to assist us. We still have to do our part ourselves.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Biden, what do you think about it? Oh, Jesus Christ, Biden, wake the fuck up.
I'm awake for real this time. Is it my turn yet?
No, you moron. You wouldn't even play until next week anyway. But seeing as you look like you could fall asleep any second now, how about we call this Shendu family reunion our last battle of the episode and you can take over after that?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. I'll give you credit, Donald, you actually played pretty well today. And I thank you very much for keeping the entire team upright for me. I can't wait to get us right to the Indigo Plateau next episode. And just think about it, men. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be 2-time Hall of Famers and 2-time certified Pokemon Masters.
It's very rare indeed, but you hit the nail right on the head with that one joke. But everyone watching, I hope you all were satisfied by my God tier play today, and hopefully Biden can replicate it next week. Thank you so much for showing up today, and we can't wait to see you next Thursday for episode 22.
That's pretty cool ending the episode going up against the entire vanilla Shendu evolution line. Good thing we unfortunately know its weaknesses. A huge shout out as always to our channel members Bradley and Hector over on Ko-fi. If you would like to join them and be mentioned at the end of every episode like this, you can do so by heading over to our Ko-fi page in the description. We can't wait to see you next week.
I forgot how fucking epic I look when I'm in this form. And for anyone out there thinking, hey George, aren't you using the ability right now? How are you going to use it in 2 weeks' time? Don't worry about that. I haven't actually used Deadeye, I just used my powers to make my appearance visible for all of you. And of course, as always, don't forget to answer our comment question and join the Discord in the description below. We just passed the 700 member mark, and if you haven't joined yet, you're really missing out. See you next week, partners.
You're the best community on YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you, and holy fucking shit, guys. George is glowing. What the fuck is going on?
Joe, I actually can't even.